welcome to another Blackjack Day video and moving forward your journey to being a better Blackjack player and AP player. I am Blackjack Dave. I love to play Blackjack, talking about Blackjack and sharing the correct way to play Blackjack with others. Right, this video is going to talk about insurance and when to take even money. These are side bets that give the perception to players that they will protect their hand against a dealer's blackjack. You'll be making the decision on the insurance wager or the even money before you decide whether to surrender, double down, split, hit, or stand. All right, now let's check out to see how insurance works at the table. Dealer has an ace. You have a 20. Dealer will say, anybody want insurance? And when the dealer asks that, he is asking, do you think I have a 10 underneath my ace for blackjack? If you think he does not, don't take insurance. If you think he does, take insurance. Basic strategy says never take insurance. As we progress to the higher level of classes, 201 or 301 level, you will see when there are times to say yes to insurance. But for this demonstration, we are going to say yes to insurance just so you see how it plays. But remember, at this level, basic strategy, you always want to say no to insurance. Think of it as a side bet. Side bets are evil. All right. So you bet two reds. So you got $20 there. No, $10, $5 each. And you want to take insurance. So you take a chip, stick it on the insurance line, and insurance pays 2-1. That's pretty general everywhere. So if that's a 10 underneath there, you're gonna double your bet. But you're gonna lose that one. All right. Here we go. Ready? Blackjack. So the dealer would take that, put this here, match it, hand it back to you. So you broke even. That's insurance. Now let's take a deeper dive into the math of blackjack. If you take a single deck of cards, uh, there's a ratio of 9 tens to 10s is 36 to 16. So we have 36 cards that are not 10 and 16 cards that are 10. Assume after the cards are dealt on the first round that the dealer is showing an ace and ask if you want to take insurance. We're going to ignore what you have, meaning what the player has, the first two cards in this scenario. Now the ratio of non-tens to tens is of unplayed cards, 51 cards. So 35 non-tens and 16 cards that are tens. So what does that mean when it comes to you winning or losing? Well, that means 35 times if you make $1 insurance bet, you would lose $35. The number of times the dealer would not have a 10. However, the dealer would have 110 16 times. So 16 times $2 equals 32. Now, if you're asking why 16 times 2, remember insurance pays 2-1. So 16 times 2, $32. So you won 32, you lost 35, so that means you lost $3. You think, well, that's not bad, but that's a 5.9% losing. So Multiply that by 6 decks, and you lost a lot more money. So 5.96% is the house edge in this scenario. Well, now you're probably thinking, but Dave, 6%, that example was a little unrealistic because we did not take into account what cards I have, meaning the player. All right. So let's say the dealer has an ace, just like before, and you have a 3 and a 9 for a total of 12. Let's see if this is any better. What this means is the ratio of 9 tens to tenths now in the remaining 49 card is now 33 to 16, meaning still have 16 cards worth 10 or more, 10, and 33 cards worth less than 10. So let's look at the math down below. Well, 16 times 2 for the wins, minus your $33 in losses, is $1 loss. So that's better than, I think, what it was, $6 before. Now you're looking at 2% loss. Still not so great. Now, if you play blackjack for any length of time, you will hear players say that if they have a good hand, you should always take insurance. Well, let's look at this statement closely. All right, so now we're going to consider the case you're dealt a 20. So you have 2 tens, and the dealer shows an ace. So in this scenario, like previous example, you had a 12 against a 20, or a 12 against the blackjack. Now you have a 20 against the blackjack, a good hand. I'll read the rest. The reason that if you take insurance on a 20, you avoid losing money on a good hand should the dealer end up with blackjack. And even if the dealer doesn't have a blackjack, they continue, he'll still have a tough time beating a 20. So blackjack insurance makes sense. Well, let's see if this does. Well, like most myths in life and in blackjack, that player and this myth cannot be more wrong. In fact, once we do the math, you're going to see it's going to be worse. And why? Well, taking insurance when you hold a 20 is an even worse bet than taking insurance when you have a bad hand. Why? Well, because if you're holding a 20 made of 2 10 value cards, you have taken out play 2 cards that the dealer needed to make his 21 or make his blackjack. So there's no longer 16 10 cards there, but 14. So let's do the math. You got a chance. You got 14 times 2 for 28 minus the 35 you're going to lose. That's a minus $7. So now you're playing at a whopping 14% loss. So no, that myth is very, very bad. So I hope you can see, no matter how you look at it, blackjack insurance is a very bad bet for a basic strategy only player and should be avoided at all times. That was a lot of information. Let's now go and practice our basic strategy using a 20 question basic strategy quiz. Let's go. All right, here we go. 20 questions. Let's see how we do. 6 against an 8. I will pause, say 10 seconds before I answer each one. So starting now. I say hit. 7 against a soft 16 or 17. So 17 or 6. I'm going to hit that as well. 2 against a 9. I'm going to double. 12 or 13 against a 3. I'm going to hit. I want to give a caveat to this one. There's a deviation when the true count is 1. You double. I don't know what basic strategy calls for because of the deviation in my brain, but I'm still going to go to double here. But I might be wrong. I'm going to go with hit here. Next one, number 5. 11 against the king. I'm going to double. Ace against a soft 18. Going to hit. Was that 12 against a 2? We covered some of these in our deep dive videos. I'm going to go with a hit. 16 against a 7. I'm going to say hit. 8 or 16 against a queen. Now, I will say on this one, this is the right play. I'm 99.999% sure. I'm not sure of 100% of anything, but it's a tough call. It's a tough thing to do, but you're better off. 11 against a 2. I'm going to say double. Question 11. A 4 against a 4. I'm going to split. And soft 18 against a 5. I'm glad the quiz is giving you some ones with the A7, A6, because those are the ones that are a little more complex to remember. But I'm going to, it's enough time. Let me wait a couple more seconds. I'm going to double. And there we got ace 4 against a 3. I'm going to hit that. 2 5s or 10 against a 6. This is a nice one because ups a lot. I see him misplayed a lot. So this is going to have on here. Wait a couple more seconds. This is a double. Next. We got 6s against a 3. So 12 against a 3. I'm going to split that. We got 12 against a 3. Kind of like the same before, same value. So it's interesting how we play different hands based on their makeup. A couple more seconds. But I would hit that. 9 against a 7. There's a deviation for this as well, which is +3. So I'm going to say basic strategy is going to tell you to hit that and not double it. All right. So I'm sorry, I was a little quick on that one. I was thinking too much. 18. Question 18. 10 against a 9. Wait a couple seconds. And I'm going to double. One thing to point out here, I've been playing blackjack now for several years, study basic strategy for the same amount of time, and you still have to go over it because there are ones you will miss, you'll forget. So this is always good practice. Soft 18 against the jack. Give it a couple more seconds. You constantly have to go over your drills, and I'm going to hit that. Last one. That's a good one. It's misplayed quite often at the tables. No matter misplay, it's not an opinion. It's a fact. There's a mathematical way to play each hand correctly for your best part of winning the hand or losing less. That's what makes blackjack so great. And I'm going to split, submit. I got 19 out of 20. I don't know if I missed that one with the 9. Let's see. I scored about 80% of other people. 8 against a 6. No, that was right. Yeah, so it hit. That was right. That was right. 9 against a 2 is a double. That's the one where I was a little curious on deviation. So it's always a double, even in basic strategy. All right, so I don't feel too bad. Uh, and then that's 3 against a 12. King is a double. Question 6, ace 7 against an ace is a hit. 12 against a 2 is a hit. Question 8, 16 against a 7 is a hit. Makes sense. Split those 8s against a 10. Yes. If you watch my deep dive in splitting, you know why. That's better. Lose less. 11 against a 2 is a double, of course. Split those 2s against a 4. Soft 8 keys against a 5 is a double. What are other cards you double that on? You double if there's a either card if it was a 3, 4, 5, or a 6, you would double. Stand on 7 and 8, and then a 9 through 8 you would hit. Question 13. Against a hit, that's a hit. Good soft hand practice here. Pair of 5s against a 6, of course, double. Big bus card, the 6. Get your money out. I'm going to split those 6s against a 3. How about if this was 4s instead of against a 3? Would you split that? There's only 2 dealer cards you split 4s on. What you think about that one? I'll give you that answer when we're at the very end. 12 against a 3 is a hit. 9 against a 7 is a hit. And 10 against a 9. That's going to be a double. 19, there's our favorite A7 is a hit. And of course, great question here. Most players won't do it, but you split. And I think I asked something about, was it question 16? No. Here we go, 6s. These are 6s. No, it's 4. 4. 5 and 6. These are 4s. You only split 4s when the dealer has a 5 or a 6. So, pretty good. Hope you did well on the test. If not, you got some more basic strategy testing to do. And the next video, we will go over very close to insurance, but when you take even money. when should you or should you ever take even money? And then we'll do some more basic strategy scenarios like we just did here. Thanks for watching the video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I haven't got any comments yet, so I'm looking forward to some comments. And I'm proud to say my views this month were the most of any month. They're actually quadrupled since month one, and they're tripled since month two. So thanks for watching, and may many blackjacks be in your future.